Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news of this morning, man shot dead at a taxi stand in Crossroads, St. Andrew. A man was shot and killed at a taxi stand on Caledonia Crescent in Crossroads, St. Andrew on Saturday night. The deceased is a 32-year-old Jervin Swaby, a resident of Brayton in Portmore, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 9:30 p.m., Swaby was sitting in the back of a parked taxi when a lone gunman approached the vehicle and opened gunfire, hitting him several times. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The gunman escaped. The St. Andrew Central Police are probing the incident. Clarendon Forex trader charged for shooting man who confronted him over money. A 20-year-old Havana Heights Clarendon Forex trader has been charged for shooting a man who confronted him over money. Cameron Charlton has been charged with wounding with intent, malicious destruction of property, unlawful wounding, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The police say the incident happened in his community on Monday, July 29. According to reports from the Clarendon Police, about 4:50 p.m., Charlton was visited by a man who he owed money. Upon seeing the man, Charlton allegedly brandished a handgun, which he used to fire at the man several times. During the attack, the man allegedly used his car as a shield and was able to flee the scene. A report was made to the police, and the Charlton was subsequently arrested and charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Man accused of Moby murder to stand a trial in September. Daniel Jones, the St. James man charged with the January 5, 2024 murder of 24-year-old Shaquem Lindsay, who was shot dead in downtown Montego Bay, is booked to stand the trial in the St. James Circuit Court on September 16, following his committal hearing on Wednesday. Lindsay, who hailed from Shantytown in Paradise, Norwood, was shot dead along St. James Street in downtown Montego Bay. His killing was the second murder in the parish this year. During Jones's committal hearing, presiding parish judge Keisha Grant Price outlined the reasons that influenced her decision, including documentation that indicated Jones had a gun in his possession at the time of his arrest, and that he was identified as a person of interest in Lindsay's death. Jones was represented by attorney-at-law Chumo Paris. This story starts 2 weeks after a killing that took place. A gun was recovered from the accused man in Rose Heights when the police apprehended him, and the police recognized him as a person of interest in a murder that took place near the Gully bus stop in Montego Bay, said Grant Price. On that fateful morning, 4 in the morning, the police were alerted to shots being fired, and the deceased person was lying in his own blood in the street in the vicinity of the Gully bus stop. 14 days later, the accused man says he is willing to give a caution statement. This is not a case where I can stop this matter in full-fledged going from here to the Supreme Court. This is a matter ripe for the proper jurisdiction, which is for a judge and the jury to determine issues that are raised in this case. They need to be properly articulated before a judge who will give appropriate directions to the jury, and as such, I rule that this matter will be committed to the circuit court. During the hearing, the prosecution outlined that, based on its evidence bundle, Lindsay was killed during the commission of a robbery in which Jones was a participant, and that the gun that was reportedly used in the act was later retrieved from Jones. Following the hearing, Jones was remanded in custody ahead of his case's scheduling listing before the circuit court on September 16. According to reports on January 5, about 4 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On the arrival of the lawmen, Lindsay was seen lying along the roadway on St. James Street with gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was later pronounced dead at hospital. Based on statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the St. James Police Division has recorded 78 murders and 75 shootings up to July 20, which makes it the division with the most murders since the start of the year. Family appeals for help for Teachfield High School student injured in crash. The family of 16-year-old David Johnson, the Teachfield High School student, seriously injured in a May 14, 2024 crash in Portland, which left two of his colleagues dead, is appealing for help as they face a Herculean task caring for him. Johnson's aunt, Michelle Reese, who resides in Florida, told the news that her nephew, who suffered a serious brain injury, is unable to walk and has since had 2 strokes which have affected his entire right side. He has to be fed through a tube and is currently not responding to stimulus. He also has a sore on the lower back of his right side, which the family believes he developed while he was hospitalized. Both of his arms and feet are swollen as we speak, the distraught aunt said. She said that David, who spent 2 months in the hospital, was discharged last Tuesday, July 16, 2024. But while the family was grateful for what the hospital did for him, we are not certain he should have been sent home in the condition he is. We feel that he requires a specialist treatment in a hospital bed, which we are neither able to provide or can afford. In addition, David is scheduled to undergo another surgery in early August, Reese said. According to Reese, the family has been told that David will need therapy as part of his recovery, and while they have not been told that attention at an overseas facility could help, I do believe it would be best for him. But again, funding would be a major impediment, as the family is just not in a financial position to provide for that either. She added that the family reached out to 2 medical facilities in Jamaica, one of which quoted a price tab of Jamaican $500,000 weekly to care for David, a figure she said is way out of the reach of the family's pocket. They were then offered a reduced price of $300,000, but even that smaller sum was impossible for the family to secure on their own. Reese noted that the second facility that was approached advised that they would not be able to care for David in his current condition. At the moment, David is being cared for by his grandparents, another aunt, and a person who has to be paid. A family friend who is a nurse and others have also been volunteering their time, according to Reese. She added that the Portland Western Member of Parliament and the Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, in whose constituency the crash occurred, has provided some help with the transportation costs. On the day David was released from the hospital, the family decided to engage the service of a private ambulance to transport him home, as they were concerned that the ride in a regular vehicle from Kingston through the winding Junction Road in St. Mary would be too much for him. It is likely we will have to do so again to fulfill his upcoming appointment for his next surgery, she said. A member of the Teachfield High School cadet, David has always expressed a desire to become a member of the Jamaica Defensive Force and to get into computer studies. Reese told the news, adding that he has always been devoted to his schoolwork. The student's plight, which has made the rounds on some online platforms, has resulted in a member of the Jamaican community in the state of Georgia who asked not to be named, offering to see if there is anything I can do to assist. A GoFundMe account, which has been set up by the family to raise US $100,000, has so far realized US $14,696 from 330 donors. Persons wishing to contribute can access the account at gofundme.com/f/support David's care and healing after a tragic accident. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.